Hey guys, today's video is going to be me kind of doing a little mini how-to. In this situation it's going to be how to hook up a blow-off valve and put it together. Now, when you buy a JS Racing Products turbo kit, especially the LS style turbo kits, this is the style blow-off valve we supply. This is a 50mm blow-off valve. And the way the blow-off valve works is simple. I'll give you a real quick rundown, even though you probably already know. The air pressure coming out of the turbo's outlet, the compressor side, is going to go through the piping, through your intercooler if you're intercooled, up into the throttle body and into the engine, and it's going to be flowing. Think of it as water flowing, even though it's air. When you snap the throttle blade shut, whether you're shifting gears or coming to a stop or getting out of it after a pull, the air doesn't just kind of stop and sit there tapping its foot looking at its watch, you know, waiting for you to reopen the throttle body. It wants to bounce off that blade, go backwards through the system, and come back out the turbo, which is already spinning one direction, and of course that can lead to premature wear and tear on the turbo itself. So the blow-off valve will actually be connected to the intake manifold with a vacuum line, and when it senses you go from the boost transition into the vacuum transition, it pulls this diaphragm open, and it's pretty stiff. Let's see if I can get it to move with my fingers. I doubt I can. There we go. Here, it moved there. That'll pull open. The extra air that's being ventilated comes out through these grooves here all the way around, and it saves the turbo. And it sounds pretty cool. So when you buy one of my Universal LSX kits, your job's going to be to go ahead and pick out the best location for your situation to mount the blow-off valve. It'll obviously be somewhere between the outlet of the intercooler and the throttle body itself. This is the bare aluminum flange that you'll get with it that you'll have to weld on. This will basically get, it's already kind of grooved, you see, for piping. You still will probably have to trim depending on the size of your piping. Obviously, whether you're using 2-inch, 2.5-inch, 3-inch, or 4-inch piping will determine the exact shape you need to make this. But you'll get that to go onto your piping. And then this, as you see, fits there. So I'm trying to keep this in the camera to show you guys everything here. You get an O-ring to make sure it's sealed. So the O-ring kind of goes and sits on this lip right here. It's a little tricky to get on there. It's not a big lip. But once you have it on there, come on, don't fight with me. Of course it's going to fight with me. There we go. Kind of holding it over there. Show you guys. So the O-ring goes on that lip like that. And then once you have it on there for sure, you'll see that when you put it against this, it gives it a very, very nice tight seal. And then the way you hold this together is with this clamp. This clamp will then wrap around there, and that's how you'll take the blow-off valve on and off of your aluminum piping once that's welded there. Now, there's a port here on the top that's threaded, and in this baggie is going to be a banjo bolt style nipple, a bolt, banjo bolt, and 2 copper washers. It'll be a copper washer down the banjo fitting, a copper bolt washer on top of the banjo fitting, and then the bolt through, so the copper ends up sealing on both sides. Now, this is not made out of super high strength material, so don't go snapping it, but you need to make this tight. You need to make this tight enough that those copper washers seal and there's no leaks. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll just kind of like suck on that and try to see it with my mouth and try to see if I can feel it drawing anything. Usually they seal pretty much really well. The copper washers are nice and soft and they're usually pretty good at sealing. So just hook it up like that and then run that to any vacuum source on your intake manifold that you choose. So that's how you connect a blow-off valve. And no matter what type of style it is, they'll all be pretty much the same. There are the other style that have more than one nipple. You still usually end up only using one nipple. Those are like the Turbo Smart style. This is the tile style. Those are usually more of a pass-through, so you don't need to use a T-fitting, so you can kind of like run vacuum into it and back out. In that case, look for their instructions or their owner's manual if you're uncertain. But this is the way to hook up one you get from me.